G'day, I'm Mark from Self-Sufficient Me, and this is a Ceylon Hill Gooseberry, and I wanted to show you this plant because this is the first season that it's really fruited well for us. It's about 5 years old. It produces a small, I suppose, blueberry sized berry. It might be a little bit bigger than most blueberries, but it's very similar in looking to a blueberry. It's got a sort of velvety coat on it. It's a very tasty fruit. I would say it's more like a fig blueberry cross. Has some small tiny edible seeds inside, and I want to try to turn this into jam. This plant here is about 5 years old. It's fruited a few times over that 5-year period, and each time it got better. Pardon the wind here, it could be affecting the mic. I can't really help that too much. I haven't got my professional sound team here today. But anyway, so this year it fruited a lot. And I mean, I've already picked about 200, and we've been just eating them fresh and giving some away. And I think I've probably got around 300 or 400 fruit left that I can pick, just as a guess. So I'm going to go ahead, pick them all, but before I do, let me just tell you a little bit more about it. It's a plant that comes from Asia originally. It can be grown from seed. It does like a warm subtropical climate, but it can do well in cooler climates also. In some places you might have to protect it from birds because obviously birds like berries, but I haven't had that problem here where I live. The other thing is fruit fly, because this fruit ripens later in the year coming on to our winter, our fruit fly aren't as prevalent, so they don't sting the fruit, and that's another good thing about growing it in my region. I have a hard time growing blueberries just due to our climate and soil type as well, but I don't have a problem growing the Ceylon Hill Gooseberry. The shrub gets about neck high. It can get up to 2 meters, they say, but I've just seen this like a spreading. It's about 3 meters across, 2 meters this other way, and probably a metre and a half high. That's about as big as I think it's going to get. I've given it a bit of a trim back. It seems to be pretty much self-shaping, and I just think it's a great plant. As far as fertilizer and watering goes, I really don't give it a lot of fertilizer. I might just throw a little bit of chicken manure around the base here and there, but over the last 5 years I haven't really concentrated my efforts on it much. It's sort of just been a plant I've left grow here next to my apple trees. Watering, yeah, now that it started fruiting, you know, pretty much from flowering, I gave it quite a bit of water. I just made sure that over really long dry spells it got a good drink, but I haven't concentrated on continually keeping the water up to it. It seems to be fairly drought hardy as well. I'm growing it on slightly raised soil here, but as far as that goes, there's not much upkeep to a plant like this. If you wanted to grow this in an ornamental part of your garden, this looks fantastic when it flowers. It is extremely pretty, and it looks very nice from a street aspect or in a ornamental hedge type of situation where you get all these beautiful pink flowers, and they're quite long lasting. Let me grab a few and I'll come over to the camera and we'll have a bit of a taste, and I'll show you a close-up of it. They fall quite easily. Once they're ripe, they fall off the branch easy, so when you're picking them you can lose a few, and you might see in a windy situation like this fruit fall when it's ready. So I would definitely look on the ground, and I'm going to do that once I've finished picking all this to see if I can pick up any stragglers. If there is a problem with birds or insects getting to your berries, you may have to throw a net over them. But like I said, I don't have to worry about that because it seems that the birds and insects haven't found my berries yet, and hopefully they never will. Okay, let's have a look here. That's what they look like. They've got this little sort of guava type base, and that's the end that you pick the fruit off. That's attached to the stem, and let me bite into it. It's got a pink or purple red jelly-like pulp and small tiny, really tiny fig sort of seeds in it, and it does taste a bit figgy. You can eat it all whole, or you can just bite it down to that end bit and throw that bit away. I'd just pop them in and eat them all whole like that. They're good. I like the little seeds, giving it a bit of crunch. I'm not sure how they're going to go in the jam that I make, but I think that it might make a nice cheese jam. So, as with most berries, they're really good for you, of course. You've got the vitamin C and all those other beautiful vitamins that you can get in eating fresh fruit like this. So I think what I'll do now is pick a whole bunch of them, and then I'll show you the harvest. Rightio, I had a good time picking all this fruit, and I can keep seeing the odd one to grab. I've picked up about 50 off the ground itself underneath the tree because this wind has been knocking that fruit off. It's amazing how much fruit I have picked just in, 15-20 minutes. Just about filled up this whole bowl here. I feel like there's probably 2 kilos of fruit here, so about 4 pounds, which is quite a lot of berries. And there's still more to pick. Now, oh boy. Now, one thing I didn't tell you guys about was that you really should be picking them when they're fully ripe, because if you pick them when they're not quite ripe, and I'll just show you this, I'll put this down, there's a ripe one, see how deep purple it is, like a blueberry, and there's one that's on the way to being ripe, but you would think that that's close enough, that red. No, it's not. It doesn't taste anything like this one. This tastes sort of dry and even bitter, and the seeds are a little, there's not much jelly inside. I'll just show you. You have a look at the one that's not quite ripe to the one that is. The one that is, oh, you can taste the sweetness and the sugar straight away. This one is just sort of, it's just no good. Now, there's quite a bit of difference in taste, but it could be a week or so in ripening For a small berry, they take a surprisingly long time to ripen. So that's the other thing. Be patient, let it ripen. These have been hanging on my tree for a month. I saw it flower, and that flowered a couple of months ago, and you know, it's taken almost all through summer to grow this fruit and ripen up. So it is quite slow for a small berry, but it's definitely worth the wait. Here's the berries. Great, isn't it? What a top harvest. Anyway, I might as well finish this video off here. I'm pretty happy, as you can see, with my harvest of Ceylon Hill gooseberries. Like I said, the plant is a fantastically ornamental plant. Gets to only about 1.5 meters high max. Can be quite spready, up to about 3 meters, but beautiful flowering, a lovely fruit that will surprise you at how good it tastes. And I'm going to turn this into a beautiful cheese jam. I'll show you that in another video though, and I'll give you my word I will. But for this, I'll just sign off now and say, if you can get your hands on a Ceylon Hill gooseberry, go for it, because it not only will light your garden up, but it'll also be a beautiful fruit just to snack on, just like any other berry is, or to turn into a jam, which I'll be doing very shortly. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye for now. Fantastic. You beauty.